Hello again. Well, I'm back in Florida. Finally got back. We came back from the Northwest, and thinking about all the things that have gone wrong. This is summer 2, year 2 that we've been using this little camper, and we have found some issues and a few things that happened to us. So I'm going to kind of give you a rundown of what happened to us. And we have had some issues with this frame that I bought from Northern Tool. I wanted to show folks this stuff here. As you can see here, when you look at this thing, we had trouble with this right here. On both sides, the thin metal that came with the frame is breaking away. The bolts only went through the top plate and the single little layer of iron at the top of the channel, which eventually started to split back. And I don't know if you can quite make it out, but it's splitting all the way back. So to remedy this, to make a remedy on this thing while we're on the road, is we got large bolts. We went through the bottom and we held onto the bottom plate, which made that work. Let me show you on this side. It's even worse on this side. This is cracked all the way down. You can see from here. And I had to put these bolts all the way down to the bottom. And that's what saved us from a disaster on the road. Over time, you can actually see how this thing here has even started to bend. This thing, it's not even straight anymore. So we're going to have to do some work there. Also on this frame, I've showed you folks in the past, this frame, this part that holds the hitch, it cracked right in here. So we had to put this iron in here, and there's an angle iron on the inside, and we had to put angle iron on the inside and then sandwich it together with iron, and that had to be on both sides. This is the left side, and this is the right side. We had to do that on both in order to fix that. We had to do that when we were in Farmington, New Mexico. We realized it when we were up in Mesa Verde. Also, you can see that you can see the axle back there. The axle was actually bowing down, which caused the wheels to be facing inward at the top and outward at the bottom. So we had problems with it, so I ended up getting some angle iron, and I used some C-clamps. And with the C-clamps, I was able to pull the axle straight, which made the wheels now perpendicular to the road. Another issue we had on the road when we were up in Livingston, Montana, the wheel bearings blew up. The wheel bearings got too hot, and this iron blew apart, and we were stranded up in Montana. So it took us a week. We got a nice place to stop in Montana, and we ordered some parts online, and they came in and they fit right on. But it should never have blown apart that fast and easy. The lesson I learned from this is every now and then when you stop, you get out and you touch that iron. Make sure that it's not hot. If that iron is hot, then you're about ready to have an issue. So just make sure you know it. Grease them once a year. Repack the bearings. You could be probably saving yourself a lot of trouble. All in all, we had a pretty good luck with this camper van. Our panels up here on the roof, these panels worked pretty well, and we didn't have any trouble with power. We had plenty of power most all the time. It was never really an issue. We never really had to worry about it. Also, one more time, I want to iterate back here that we had a lot of trouble with this axle. You can even see now it has a very slight bow, but I mean, it was very exaggerated in the past, you know, earlier to this summer. Putting that angle iron and those C-clamps up there, pull that thing flat, which really straightened out my wheels. So that worked out well. The only other issue that we had, all in all, was pretty good, but we noticed that when we had it locked up and closed up, there was humidity problems and condensation, which caused a little bit of staining on the wood. Not good. I think we can figure that out with maybe when we close it up, put a dehumidifier in it. You can see my wife's curtains. She rips up a whole bunch of she rips up cloth and puts that in there for curtains. This is the other side. Can't quite make it out, but she learned this idea from Beth. So let's see how much farther we can go with this thing. It's had to put a lot of repairs, but the basic structure is fine. Haven't had any leaks or any real issues. Keep moving on. We got to keep this thing moving. Got to patch it, repair it, and move on. That's what we're going to be doing, because we're going to use this some more.